Hi, everyone. The TED Talk with Mel Fugate was very interesting regarding leaders and ethics. He talks about how leaders are being unethical. He says that 27% of the people have been reported that they sometime at some point or another have been bullied by their supervisor. He talks about how some behaviors are unethical, excuse me, but not illegal. And I do not agree that some of the things he says, as far as if the type of behavior is illegal or legal. I believe and have looked into laws as far as being bullied or harassed at work, and indeed, this behavior is illegal. I agree it is very unethical for a supervisor to harass or bully any of their subordinates. Excuse me. I agree that there are many companies that sweep it under the rug in hopes that it's going to either go away or maybe be forgotten. The problem is that when the person doing the bullying gets away with this type of behavior and they just keep on doing it, this can cost companies money. It affects a person's performance, and it can potentially affect the rest of the team's performance. There are people with high profile jobs that have been in the news for doing unethical things. I agree that with Fugate that this happens because of several different reasons. Number one being these people feel that they're above the law. Number two, the halo reputation, uh, like they're well liked in the community. Maybe they've been with the company for a long period of time. And then you have the hubris rule, where this rule applies to others, but it doesn't apply to them. Sometimes, as he put it, people have been the boss way too long. They've been able to get away with this type of behavior for a long time, and they don't think anything is wrong with it, and they don't think it's wrong with intimidating their subordinates. Researching this, harassment is a form of employee discrimination that violates Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Um, the Age Discrimination and Employment Act of 1967 and the American Disabilities Act of 1990. Harassment, and I quote, is unwelcome conduct that is based on race, color, religion, sex, including pregnancy, national origin, age, 40 years or older, disability or genetic information. Harassment becomes unlawful when, number one, enduring offensive conduct becomes a condition of continued employment, or number two, the conduct is severe or pervasive enough to create a work environment that a reasonable person would consider intimidating, hostile, or abusive. Anti-discrimination laws also prohibit harassment against individuals in retaliation for filing a discrimination charge, testifying, or participating in any way in an investigation or a proceeding or lawsuit under these laws, or opposing employment practices that they are reasonably believed discriminate against individuals in violation of these laws, unquote. In the video, Fugate states that these types of behaviors are not necessarily illegal, just unethical. He is indeed right. It is unethical, but it is also illegal as well. It has been said that people fear for their jobs, so they take on the philosophy, if you want to get along, then go along. Fugate also talks about how the leadership is the problem and how they get away with this type of behavior and it becomes a pattern. He talks about that other leaders in the company know about what's going on and that they may not act on it. And is this wrong? Yeah, this is wrong. Should they just be keeping their mouth shut? Um, it is wrong for anyone, anywhere, to keep their mouth shut when they see someone being bullied. In the workplace, as a supervisor, it should be your responsibility to take care and promote your employees, not to allow anyone, whether it is another supervisor or even another coworker to harass another employee. At my place of employment, I am a supervisor. One thing that I will not absolutely not tolerate is bullying in the workplace. And I am very adamant and firm about that from my past experience. I worked in a hospital, and my direct supervisor was a bully. And she, she bullied me quite bad to the point that every day that I went home, I had chest pains to the point where I thought there was something physically wrong with me. Later on, to come to find out, it was just anxiety. Um, I was quiet for quite some time, and I didn't see her just doing it to me. She did it a lot to me, but she did do it to some other people. And when it started happening to other people, we got together and we took it to HR. And from there, we had a meeting with our CEO. When we talk about creating a culture, if they don't do anything about it, then that basically they are promoting that kind of culture. This is exactly what happened to me. Um, we went and we talked to the CEO. Uh, basically, at one point, I had my supervisor actually grab my shirt, and because I turned around to walk away from her, and she grabbed my shirt and flung me around and said, "Don't walk away from me when I'm talking to you." And I felt like I was being treated like a 5-year-old. So during this meeting with our CEO, his reaction to that was, "Have you not ever lost your temper before?" Um, she didn't hit you or anything like that. So this went on for a couple years, and basically I could not take it anymore. Um, after I um, quit working for that company, I had so many people, even in upper management, stating that I should try to file some kind of harassment suit against the company. Um, I did not do anything wrong. Um, I can tell you as a leader that by my past experiences, um, I learned when you become a leader, you go through certain trainings and things like that. But you know, your leadership style is based upon, uh, I think, a lot of your past experiences. Everybody has a different leadership style. And when I was promoted to a supervisor, I felt like, in many ways, I was nervous. I didn't know what I was doing. So I looked at what my past supervisor had done and what my philosophy was. Um, I learned what not to do. I am very, very adamant about bullying in the workplace or outside of the workplace. I think where I used to work, where this all happened, like I said, the CEO created this culture, and it is still going on to this day. The turnover rate just in the lab there, which is the department that I worked in the in 8 years, they've went through 47 different employees. That speaks for itself as far as I'm concerned. We as a society, I think that we're starting to do something more and more about bullying, especially in the workplace. We're seeing this more and more in the entertainment industry. Um, you know, uh, things like Bill Cosby. Uh, geez, I can't come up with a bunch of names right off the top of my head, but they're shedding a lot of light on especially women being harassed in the workplace. We have the Me Too movement. Um, so I think our society is trying to turn around in regards to any type of harassment or bullying. Um, so pretty much that's my stance on it. Uh, any future leader, if any of you are going to be future leaders, look out after your people. Do not tolerate any form of bullying or harassment in the workplace, because it does have a trickle effect. You're not doing the company or yourself or your team any good by keeping your mouth shut. It needs to be dealt with. So that's my opinion. Thank you.